Seven well-known symbols you never knew the meaning behind. Number 1. The ampersand. The ampersand is a sign that means "and." It's often used in names and titles, such as business names and book titles. The symbol actually has a Latin origin. It is a method of writing the Latin conjunction "et," which means "and." In ancient Rome, scholars wanted to find a way to speed up the time that it takes to write. A man named Tiro invented a system of abbreviations that is known as Tironian. The ampersand was one of the symbols that he created. Later, the ampersand became popular in Europe and America. Today, it is used quite often, even though many people struggle to draw the symbol properly. Number 2. The heart symbol. Most people associate the heart symbol with love. People wear heart-shaped jewelry to represent love. On Valentine's Day, you see cards covered with hearts and heart-shaped balloons. When the symbol was first created, it's said to have represented more than love. There are 3 different stories about how the symbol was created. However, nobody is really sure which one is true. The first theory is that the symbol was created out of the shape that swans make when they meet in the air. Swans are said to be symbols of loyalty, love, and devotion because they stay together for life once they pair up. The second theory is that the shape comes from the shape of the female pelvis. The third story comes from Greek mythology. In drawings of the god of winemaking and a patron of passion, there were often ivy leaves in the photos, and they were in the shape of a heart. Number 3. Bluetooth. If you've ever used any type of Bluetooth technology, you've seen the Bluetooth symbol. This symbol goes back to a historical figure named King Harald Blattand. He was famous for uniting 2 Danish tribes into one kingdom. His nickname was Bluetooth because he ate so many blueberries that one of his teeth was stained blue. The symbol that was created is a combination of symbols. The part of the symbol that looks like an asterisk is Hagal, which is the Latin letter H. The part that looks like the letter B is the letter B in Latin. The reason it is 2 symbols in one is because Bluetooth allows 2 devices to share and connect. The next time you press the Bluetooth button on your phone or tablet, you can now tell people that you know where the symbol comes from and why it is called Bluetooth. Number 4. The medical symbol, a staff with wings and 2 snakes. This symbol goes back to Greek mythology. However, it has nothing to do with medicine. The Greek legend says that the god Hermes had a staff that was possessed and magical. The staff had the power to stop any disputes between enemies. Nobody knows why the medical community adopted this symbol. Hermes didn't have anything to do with medicine. The only theory that people have is that the staff represents the doctors and the diseases represent the enemies. The rest of the symbol and the reason that it's used in medicine is still unknown. Number 5. The Power On symbol. All devices have a power button and they all use a universal symbol. It is an incomplete 0 with a line in the middle. This symbol dates back to the binary age of 1940. Back then, engineers used symbols to represent switches. If the switch was on 1, it meant that the switch was on. If there was a 0, it meant that the switch was off. Over the years, the symbol transformed to what we see today on all devices. The symbol is used on almost all devices. One universal symbol makes things much less confusing. Number 6. The OK hand gesture. Most people have used this hand gesture at least once in their life. You form a circle using your thumb and index finger and leave the other 3 fingers standing up straight. There are a few stories that are related to how this symbol came about. The first story goes back to when U.S. President Martin Van Buren was campaigning. The story says that he was from Old Kinderhook, New York. Rather than writing it all out in his posters, he used the initials OK. The second story says that U.S. President Andrew Jackson used the hand gesture every time he finalized a decision. The final theory comes from the Buddhists and Hindus, and it says that it is a murda. Today, people use this symbol all the time to signify that they're okay and that somebody did something really good. Number 7. The peace symbol. This is one of the 7 well-known symbols you never knew the meaning behind. Most people have seen peace symbols, either on signs, posters, or on clothing. This symbol goes back to 1958 when people were protesting against the use of nuclear weapons. The symbol is a combination of the letter N and the letter D. This stood for nuclear disarmament. The symbol stuck, and it was used very often in the 1970s when people were protesting the Vietnam War and trying to spread the message of peace. Even after the war was over, people continued to use the peace sign. A few other examples of peace signs are the dove and the olive branch. Since these symbols are more difficult to draw, many people stick with the nuclear disarmament symbol. Subscribe for more.